Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to talk about if is it time to possibly get yourself a 1440p monitor or even a 1080p monitor for next gen gaming. Games like Forspoken and other games that have come out. We've had Dying Light 2, we've had Forspoken now, we've got plenty of games that are if you want that 60 FPS or that higher frame rate, you're going to get lower resolution. So, is it time to really consider buying a 1440p monitor so that you can have your cake and eat it too? I bought the 1440p monitor back when I picked up the Series S. I picked up the Series S for the channel, and I'll tell you right now that playing the Series S on a 1440p monitor really does enhance the quality of the game itself, and it gives you almost like for like, almost a like for like experience if you're playing the same game on the Series X versus the Series S on a 1440p monitor. Most of the time, you're going to get that 1440p level quality, but then you're also going to get lower resolutions, just like you do with the PlayStation 5 and the Series X. Sometimes you get like obviously, look at Forspoken right now. Now the PlayStation 5 does have support for 1440p. Series X and Series S have always had that. They've always had superior VRR support and everything else when it comes to these consoles. That stuff was all included day one, so you could utilize that from the day you got your consoles. Actually, VRR and everything was actually available on Xbox One S and Xbox One X, so you could use that. Back last gen with those consoles, had you have went out and bought a monitor, because we didn't really have any of the TVs yet that supported that. But I'm not necessarily saying that buying a 4K TV is a bad option. I'm not saying that at all. If you like your 4K TV, that's fine. There's ways to put both your PlayStation 5, your Series X, or your Series S into 1080p mode and then let your TV upscale them, because some of these TVs really do upscale the image a lot better than you would think. Now, some games I've tested this on some games, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I tested it on that. And while you do get the 4K and all of that, it upscales it pretty good. You do lose a lot of that crispy image that normally that you would get by using the 4K. So but it's a trade-off. All the fuzz and everything that you get from from like the reflections and the other things, it completely gets rid of that. So it's kind of a trade-off. You get rid of, the sharp crispy look, but you also get rid of the fuzz with that. Whereas, but that's, you're going to have to decide if that's something that you want. But you do retain all of that on the 1440p monitor, and then you kind of get rid of the fuzz just because of the fact that the 4K is downsampled to 1440p. If you decide to get a 1440p monitor, there's a link in the description for the one that I use for the actual monitors that I have. Is what happens is when you send your 4K image to your monitor, it will downsample that, so it will look even a little bit better. It'll look fuller. The picture's going to look more dense. You will have to leave Dolby Vision on the table. So if you're an Xbox user, you're going to lose Dolby Vision, but you can get a solid monitor with HDR support, so you're not losing any of that. And you can get HDR support even on 1080p monitors. So you got 1080p, 1440p, and you got 4K. All three of those, you can still receive your HDR with all three of those. So if you do get a Series S, and you want a 1080p monitor or something, maybe a 1080p monitor is perfect for Series S, but then there are those games that are coming out that are 1440p, like Batman, Gotham Knights. That one's 1440p at 30 frames a second. That's the reason why I recommend the middle ground at 1440p, because with a Series S, you're still going to get that higher 1440p. You're still going to get those games, but then you're also going to get games that are going to drop down in resolution, and it's not as extreme on the monitor as it is if you had a 4K TV for your Series S. The the resolution drop can start to look pretty blurry. Now some games are going to look okay. Like I said, 1440p is pretty much the cutoff range for the Xbox, you know, for on a 4K TV. When it comes to the reason why I bring this up, guys, is because when you get a game like Forspoken, I'm very hyped for Forspoken. Now I was on there, I was with you guys in the beginning, you know, thinking like, man, this game should have just launched at the beginning when the PS5 came out. It wouldn't People wouldn't talk about it that hard. But once I got in there and started to experience how well the game flows and the combat and all of that, it's really got my I mean this game has got my interest. Like I'm very interested. And if you've been at this channel for a while, you know and you understand that I love open world games. Open world games are fun. I really love exploring them. Even if I buy an open world game and I just explore it, most of the time that's enough for me. If the gameplay's trash or whatever, then that's usually enough for me. But I can tell you that I'm actively very happy with the gameplay for Forspoken. And I've been playing it the last few times that I've been jumping on there. I've been playing this in the quality mode. So, you know, the 120 FPS or whatever's kicking in and giving you that 40 FPS quality mode. And that is for the most part pretty playable. I'm not like really noticing, because I'm playing it on the monitor. I'm not noticing the frame dips as bad, because it doesn't necessarily affect it that much. And if you get into the game and you start playing it at quality mode, then you're going to get accustomed to the FPS a lot faster than you would if you were jumped in there and you're playing at 60 FPS and then you jump back and you're playing it in quality mode. But I also do have it on the PC too, so I will be covering that on the PC to find out if the game's optimized. If it's not optimized good on the PC, guys, like I get that, man. Like, let's be upset about it, but for the most part, man, I do think that this generation, a lot of the problems that we're going to run into with like games coming out lower resolution and stuff, because I was looking at that there's this other game that's coming out. It's called like Wild Hunt or something like that. Like, let me go to the store, and it's actually that's I can't really see it on here, but that game from EA that's coming out, it's like a Monster Hunter type game. When I look at that and I'm watching the thing, and I'm watching this on the 1440p monitor, and I'm looking at visuals, and I'm like, ooh, gosh, man, that's kind of fuzzy. And I'm like, ooh, boy, man, like this generation, man, we're gonna have some. I mean, Wolong, that game is running at 1440p too. So, and I mean, if you're gonna, do you really want to play these games at 4K at 30 frames a second? And that's the thing you're gonna have to kind of ask yourself this generation, if maybe possibly picking up a 1440p monitor, because I mean they're cheaper. You're not gonna spend a whole lot of money on them, but picking up a 1440p monitor, you're gonna get your 120 FPS. You're going to get your 4K. With the Xbox, you're going to get your VRR support, but PlayStation hasn't enabled that yet. I'm pretty sure they will. Hopefully they will, find a way to get us that VRR support for HDMI 2.0. That would definitely help out a lot of people, a lot of gamers, especially if you're going to go with a 1440p monitor or something. So I just wanted to bring that up, maybe see if anybody was interested in that. I think that would definitely help a lot of us, because these consoles right here are really strong 1440p machines at higher refresh rates. The 4K thing, man, like, I don't know. Ever since I've been playing on this monitor, it's not really bugged me as much as it does a lot of people anymore. Like, it used to bug me. I was like, man, I want my 4K and my 60 FPS, and I don't know, man. Since buying a PC and the 1440p monitor, my outlook on things has completely changed, because I just want to play fun games. I just want to enjoy the games when I play them, and I want them to feel good and look good at the same time. And that's what I got with a 1440p monitor. I get to have my cake and eat it too. So if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. A lot of new people around here. You're going to get videos like this from me every once in a while, banging on about 1440p and all of that stuff and how everything seems to be greater that way. But I appreciate it. And if you guys like I said, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.